deep dive. Today we're jumping into something quite fascinating from homeopathic sources.
We're looking at William Boericke's notes on Abrus Precatorius.
Right, which most people probably know by its much more common name, crab's eye vine.
Or Jaquarity, which sounds a bit more, serious.
Yeah, exactly. That contrast is interesting, isn't it? Crab's eye sounds almost cute.
Right, like a little bead. But Jaquarity hints there's maybe something more going on, and that's kind of what we want to unpack here.
Definitely. So our plan for this deep dive is basically to pull out the key info from Boericke on this plant.
Focusing on how it was used historically and, some surprising connections it has.
Yeah, connections to other pretty potent stuff. So this is like the quick guide to Jaquarity based on Boericke's Materia Medica.
So where do we start? Boericke lists a few uses.
Yeah, he mentions things like epithelioma.
Which is a type of skin cancer, yeah.
Right, and lupus, ulcers, and something called granular lids.
Which sounds like some kind of eyelid inflammation, but he really seems to zero in on eye conditions overall.
Totally. He goes into detail about purulent conjunctivitis. That sounds pretty intense, like serious inflammation, lots of discharge.
And he even notes it could spread, to the face and neck.
Wow, okay. And then there's granular ophthalmia and keratitis.
Both serious eye issues affecting different parts, so clearly the eyes were a major focus for its use, according to him.
So what's this link Boericke makes to something called jaquaritol?
Ah, right. He suggests comparing Jaquarity to Jaquaritol for things like trachoma and penis.
Okay.
And the idea seems to be about deliberately starting a new purulent inflammation.
So like that fighting fire with fire concept we sometimes hear about.
Kinda, yeah. It's like trying to provoke a localized, maybe controlled inflammation to help clear up a chronic problem. It's a concept you see sometimes in, older or traditional medicine.
Okay, I think I get that. Triggering the body's response in a specific way.
Exactly. Now, here's where it gets, I think, really interesting. Okay, Boericke straight up says that the proteid poisons contained in Jaquarity seeds are almost identical
Identical to what?
in their physiological and toxic properties with the similar principles found in snake venom.
Whoa, wait. Snake venom.
Yeah, snake venom.
So this little vine, this crab's eye vine, has compounds that are basically the same toxicologically as snake venom.
According to Boericke, yes. Almost identical. It really underlines that hidden power we mentioned at the start. It's not just some innocuous little seed.
No kidding. That's quite a connection. It makes you think differently about plants, doesn't it?
It really does. How nature can pack such a punch, biochemically speaking, in unexpected places. That fundamental similarity is pretty striking.
Did Boericke mention how it was actually, prepared or used, dosage and stuff?
He does briefly. He mentions a mother tincture diluted locally, so applied directly but diluted, and also a 3x internally dilution. Now, for anyone not familiar with homeopathy, the mother tincture is the starting point, the concentrated extract. And 3x means it's gone through a specific process of dilution, multiple steps. The idea is to get the therapeutic effect, but minimize the toxicity.
Okay, got it. So highly diluted for internal use.
That seems to be the idea presented here.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Our deep dive into Boericke's take on Jaquarity, or crab's eye vine.
We've seen its traditional homeopathic uses, especially for those eye problems.
And the really standout point, this incredible toxicological link to snake venom.
Yeah. Which leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? For you, the listener.
Yeah, think about this. A plant with stuff inside it that's potent enough to be compared to snake venom. Yet it was historically used for healing.
What does that tell you about, that complex dance between nature and medicine? How something potentially harmful can also be seen to hold healing potential.
And how things that seem so different on the surface, like a vine seed and snake venom, can share such fundamental, powerful properties deep down.
It definitely gives you something to mull over about the surprising connections in the natural world.
Eso de plástico de la